good morning, and a very warm welcome to the Gallant Fuse Morning News for Thursday, the 4th of July, 2024. My name is Colin, and I am joined again by Scott. Scott, this has been 3 days in a row. It's been a thing of beauty, it really is.
Yeah, no, mate, there's no better way than getting up at day looking at your face speaking about Rangers, so.
That's your alarm going off, telling you to wake up as well.
Yeah, 2 seconds. Fine, I'll stop it.
3 days on the trot, and we're getting complacent, team. But hello to all the listeners watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you can give us a like, a follow, subscribe, even the odd retweet here, that'd be excellent. And of course, thank you to everybody else listening on the audio platforms after the fact as well. Again, wherever you get your podcast, if you can give us a like and a subscribe. Just a call to arms, as always. We've got the link in for Scott's Just Giving page. All donations going to Macmillan Cancer Support, so anything, whether it's a penny or a pound, it all goes a long way. So anything you can do to support Scott and make his High training a little bit easier will be much appreciated. Scott, what's
Don't
your
know if it will
daily
be any
update?
easier. Don't know
What's
if it
your
will be
daily
any
update
easier.
on the training?
I've got, for buying the peel back the curtain a bit, we're recording this about half an hour to an hour earlier than we normally do.
Aye.
Because I've got a PT session at 9. And yesterday I smashed my 5k PB. Got the, it was just over 22 minutes I've done it in, so I was happy with that.
Decent.
And my legs definitely feeling it. Let's put it that way.
That's a decent
But
time
no,
for a 5k, by the way.
I know.
Well done.
Thing is, I went into it aiming for 22 and a half minutes, and I got 22:12, I think it was. But about halfway through, I realised I could get under 22 here, but it didn't end up happening. My legs thought, nah, you're not hitting 22 today. So no, it's I know that was good, and just keep training as hard as possible. Yeah.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. So, listeners, if you want to give them a wee donation or a wee good luck message, then that is more than welcome. So, into the Rangers news. Wasn't it great days for Rangers in the media yesterday, Scott? We'll start with the long-term targets. I say long-term in the grand scheme of the transfer window. These have been targets since the beginning. Kenny McLean and Yusuf Kabadai both appear to be off. So Kenny McLean, it's reported that he was interested in coming to the Rangers. Rangers will not meet the wage demands or the length of contract that he was after, and neither side are willing to back down. So Rangers don't want to get tied down on an expensive contract for a player at his age for 3 or 4 years. And Kenny McLean wants, wants not quite what he's on in Norwich, but close to it. Yusuf Kabadai is slightly different, where he looks as if he's going to stay in Germany with Augsburg. Augsburg willing to pay the money. Kabadai apparently fancies staying there, or ahead of company Rangers. So two fairly big blows in the transfer strategy, I think, Scott.
Yeah, but understandable ones. I'll go with the Kenny McLean. I'll start with the Kenny McLean one. Kenny McLean's gone with. To be fair, I've got no issue with us not signing Kenny McLean. Not, I came on here yesterday singing his praises, saying it should be a great signing for us. But we have been bit in the past by signing a bunch of old men for the English Championship on high wages and stupid contract lengths. And we're not making that mistake again with Ken McLean. And that's something I'm more than happy with. I like the player. I've been happy with the player. But from a financial point of view, it makes no sense if he's won 25 grand a week on a 4-year deal. How does that doesn't help us in the long run at all? And on Kabadai, I think that's just like one of the things. He's a young player. He's settled in Germany. Maybe he doesn't want to move abroad, and he wants to stay close to home, close to his family. And you can't really begrudge someone like that. He's what, 19? I think he is 19, 20.
Yeah.
So Rangers fans on Twitter are acting as if the transfer window is going to pop. If you go into every transfer window thinking you're going to get every single target you want, then you're deluded. You're never going to sign every target you want because that's how football happens. Something happens, club offers more money, player wants to stay, player wants too much money. Things happen in football, and we just need to get used to it. We're never going to sign every player we want. So if we did, football would be so much easier. You don't even sign every player you want on FIFA or Football Manager. It's never going to happen in real life either. So I'm a, I'm more annoyed with McLean because I know more about him. Kabadai, I've never seen a boy play, so I don't know if he's good or not. But when in the grand scheme of things, there's more footballers out there. Probably better that we can get just by better scouting. We could easily get someone better than Kenny McLean, or hopefully get someone better than Kabadai. So at the end of the day, it's just one of these things that happens in football. It always happens, really. You never sign every player you want.
I suppose the frustration for a lot of fans is it's not just these two in isolations. We missed out on Jose Cordoba. Damon Garcia looked as if it was going to be a done deal and it didn't happen. So that's quite a few transfer targets. But I think you're right in what you say. You're never going to get every target, and we to balance the ones we haven't got in, we've signed what, maybe five. Well,
It's
your man will be 5 or 6 now. So what I'm neither up nor down too much around Cabadai. I think Kenny McLean, I can see the real value of him coming in and being a first team player, but there is other Kenny McLeans out there. I don't think the horse is bolted in the transfer strategy. We're going to miss out on an opportunity. Like, we don't need to change the transfer strategy. This is different from like when Lewis Ferguson went from Aberdeen to Bologna and Rangers missed out, or like a good example, Celtic had John McGinn in the grasp of their hands, and they were just playing the low ball. This isn't the Rangers quite playing the low ball. This is Rangers being sensible with the money, because we can't pay 30 grand a week for, and I've that 30 grand a week I've just popped out of my arse, by the way. It's just an example. Can I pay 30 grand a week for Kenny McLean for 4 years, because that gets us into being the highest wage bill, and all these players on high wages who don't contribute, and we just need to look at last season and the season before to see how that pans out. So I don't think we're quite. It's no Lewis Ferguson vibes when we should have just upped the money a wee bit and we would have had a huge superstar. Cabadai might get that, but eh, that's more of a gamble than what Lewis Ferguson was. So I don't know. I'm not too concerned right now, because the transfer window's actually only been open for a couple of weeks. We've got a lot of players in. There is still a lot of work to get done, both players going out and coming in. So I think maybe if it does get to the end of next week and not much more traction has happened, it'll be squeaky bum time for me.
Yeah, I'm with the sort of back on the Kabadai deal. I don't think it is a financial deal. The reason he's staying in Germany, as I said, I generally think it's just a 20-year-old doesn't want to leave home or doesn't want to be as far away from his family. It could be something as simple as that. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with the window. I, as I've said many times, I don't know how good any of these players are because I've never seen anyone play football. Like, I see folk writing them off. I see folks saying, "Oh, he's not first choice. He's coming in as cover." You've got no idea because you've never seen him play football. So I will. People writing off Coppin at the moment, whatever. I will only find out how good Coppin is at his job in about October time, when I've seen all these players, when I've seen a good sample size of all these players. That's when I'll discover how good of a director of football, how good at identifying talent Coppin and Clement are.
So, moving on in the next couple of stories, then I opened the pod way. It was a poor day in the media for Rangers, and this wasn't just the traditional media. Let's go on to Instagram. So, it's true what they say, behaviour breeds behaviour, and you can absolutely see the type of people Todd Cantwell surrounds himself with. So, his football agent, Jose Enrique, was chatting about Instagram, sliding into DMs, and he thought he was sliding into the DMs of the Lecce coach, Luca Gotti, and sent him a message saying that Todd Cantwell and one of his other players are available this summer. It wasn't actually Lecce coach Luca Gotti, it was a fan page, and Jose Enrique has just outed Todd Cantwell that he's up for the move this summer. By Christ, I am sick of speaking about Todd Cantwell and Instagram and TikTok. I'm kind of, I'm going to hand over to you. I'm kind of lost for words on what to say in this one, Scott.
I never, Jesus, where did I start? First of all, I didn't think it was possible for someone to be worse at Instagram than Todd Cantwell, but I think we found someone. Jesus. But I think the overall take away the stupid agent. I quite like Jose Enrique as a footballer. I thought he was a decent left back at Liverpool, but that's bad bye. I think the overall story here is Todd Cantwell is up for sale. And I think that's probably what we should be talking about more than his agent being stupid on Instagram. Cantwell being up for sale, I'm kind of in two minds about this one. Because I've always liked Todd Cantwell as a player. I've always thought he's the kind of style of player I've always liked watching. I've always thought he's aesthetically good to watch, Todd Cantwell. The sort of flair, sort of trickery. I've always liked that style of player. So I've always kind of had a soft spot for him because he's the kind of player I like watching. But if Clement doesn't want him, and based on what I've heard personally, Todd Cantwell's our highest earner on north of 35 grand a week. So if he's our highest earner, this is all, I'm not confirming he's a high earner, just what I've heard. If he's our highest earner and Clement doesn't really fancy him, then I think it's best to part ways, because we saw last season, Old Firm games came about, he played Tom Lawrence. He hooked Cantwell after half an hour of a European game. So he obviously I think it's pretty clear he doesn't fancy Cantwell. So I think getting rid of him probably is the best thing to do, as much as I wouldn't do it, as much as I would like to keep him. If Clement doesn't fancy him and he's on our highest wage, I saw this morning he was linked to a move to Saudi, but that he's linked to Bisco's club, but I don't know if that's just lazy journalism. I think with that one, getting rid of Cantwell probably is the best thing to do, as much as I personally wouldn't do it. And let's not talk about his agent.
I think there's arguments for keeping both for both keeping Cantwell and moving him on. There's arguments either side, but I think after this, we can all agree that he's for the off order. It doesn't mean necessarily he'll definitely go, but Rangers are clearly interested in open to looking for offers for him. And I know Rangers will move on anybody for the right price. If the right price comes in for Jack Butland, then Jack Butland will go. It's just a sad reality. There's the difference of being like a player having a price tag and actively looking for offers to come in, and I think Todd Cantwell falls into the latter. So I'd be very surprised if he's here come the 31st of August. I think there's just too much pointing to the fact he won't be a Rangers player, and this is just the saw that'll break your camel's back. Just bizarre, man. It's just bizarre. Again, I said it when the news about the stadium broke as well. I don't know how we can continue just to be a shambles
This is
in the
2012
news.
stuff. This is stuff
Aye,
you've seen 2012, not 2024.
I know. I half expect the next AGM to be in a gazebo on the pitch. The way things are going, like I don't know how without playing a game of football, we still become continue to be just fucking circus. Um, on to Abdallah Sima then. This is an interesting one. Again, it doesn't take much for fans to argue on Twitter. I've seen people saying he should get all the stick for this as well. And people are like, is he going to get the same stick as Cantwell? Basically, he put up a highlight reel saying last season was one to never forget and there's more to come soon. So a wee bit of a teaser. Just to nail my colours to the mast, I will die in this hill. If you've had a terrible season for your club, it's absolute tin pot to put up a personal highlight reel. I really like Abdallah Sima, but he's getting the same treatment as James Tavernier, Todd Gamwell, and John Lundstrom. He's a mug for doing that. However, I would very much like to see him playing football for Rangers next season. So I hope this more to come soon means he's come back to Rangers. But, I'll give him the carrot and the stick. Idiot for going to Instagram with that. And please come back. So, what's your thoughts on this, Scott?
All of the above. um, yeah, I agree. I think if we're giving Tav and Cantwell stick, Lundstrom's a goodbye video, but it was still stupid. So there's all that red card challenge in it.
Aye.
What is he doing? With these, I'm always sort of with these videos. I'm always sitting there like, I highly doubt Abdullah Sima sitting on Premiere Pro editing these things, but surely he gets green light of what goes on his Instagram. Surely someone can look at his surely agent, social media person, or whoever sends him this video when I'm going to stick this on. Is that all right? And he'll go, aye. But I might agree with you. He shouldn't have posted it because we didn't win the league. We won a trophy, which isn't good enough. We bottled the league to put it simple as possible. Maybe in a cup final, I thought he only played 45 minutes. He got his disallowed goal, but he never done much else in the second half, from what I remember. So yeah, he's part of the team that bottled the league title. So he shouldn't be posting goodbye video or season highlights, whatever it is. But on signing him, I would happily sign Abdallah Sima because I want to see that, because we never got to see a team that exists with Cortez on the left and Sima on the right, or Sima on the left and Cortez on the right. We never got to see a team with those two as our wingers, and that's something I really want to see because I like both of them. I think both of them can complement each other well. I think both of them can get goals from wings, which we've not had, and God knows how long. We've not had wingers that score goals. Ryan Kent never scored goals, really. As much as I like Ryan Kent, he was never a goal scoring winger. So getting wingers that score goals is what we need to take the burden off our striker, whether that's Dessers, Danilo, Igamani, Miofsky, Shankland, whoever the hell it is. So if we can get Sima, I'd be more than happy because I really like the player. And also, he's still, 22? He's still fairly young. He's like 22, 23, Sima. So, yes, he's 23. So, get a 23-year-old who can get the numbers he can, who he's had experience in Europe. He played against us for Slavia Prague. He was at Brighton. He was under good coaches at Brighton. So he's got a wee bit of experience there. And he can come to Scotland and hopefully get the same 16 goals he got in all comps last season, which for a winger's pretty bloody good. So if we can get pay £5-6 million for him, I would bite your hand off to take him back because I think he can be a massive string in our bow in our attack next season.
I genuinely think the upward trajectory for Seema is very, very steep, and I think in 2 to 3 years' time, I can see him playing for like a top four, top six club in Germany or France. I do think he has that much potential, and I think we only seen snippets of it last season because of his injury. Even when he's not playing well, he still has an output, which is a very important trait to have at any club. And I think he's improved and developed into a better player from the player we've seen play against us at Slavia Prague, and I think he will continue. So I would love for him to be at Rangers for another 2 or 3 years, and then we move him on for decent money, and he goes on to have a very, very decent career. So just I don't know, we'll wait and see, I suppose, because we spoke about this the last couple of days. It's no just that individual sign, it's a wider context of how much rebuild that we need as well. Um, but just quickly, one last spiel on the social media thing. We've both said that he should or he shouldn't. I don't think should is the right word for him posting social media because we've got a lot of comments for the listeners here. Abdallah Sima can post whatever he wants in Instagram and TikTok and Facebook or whatever. But when you put something publicly on social media, you open yourself up to criticism. So we're not saying he shouldn't do that. We're just saying if he does do that, he's open to criticism, and criticism is what we're we're giving him.
As long as they're not scrap
He's
with fans in the comment section.
aye, don't call MD a weapon in the comment
What a
section,
bet,
Sarah.
lad.
But aye, I mean, I think we're a fairly decent podcast, Scott. We put up clips of and snippets of it in Instagram, TikTok. We get filters as well. We get some nice comments. That's part and parcel of social media. So when you do that, you put yourself out there. You do open yourself up, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. But just please come back, Abdallah. I'll retract everything that I say if you just put pen and paper. Um, Last bit of news confirmed from the club yesterday, Scott. Jay Hogarth, the 20-year-old goalkeeper, will go out on loan to Queen of the South until January. So he spent the second half of the season last year on loan at Dumbarton and helping them get promotion. So now he'll move to League One football and be the first choice goalie for Queen of the South. So Jay Hogarth, listeners might remember his brother Nicky was also at Rangers too. So he seems to be very well thought of, Jay Hogarth. Again, 20-year-old. Good to see him getting first team football so early on. The kind of Alan McGregor, Robbie McCrory path of different loan spells, different leagues, and working your way up seems to be the plan we have for him as well. I always forget how many decent young keepers we have, Scott. We've got Bud and Austrius as well. We've got Kieran Wright, the third choice goalie too, Mason Munn for the under 18s. Not all of them can play, but in terms of Hogarth, I'm glad to see he's going to be out playing regular football.
See what ones like him. This might sound harsh, but I don't see why we can't just sell players like that. Like I don't understand why we keep continually loaning players out. Let's be honest, you just listed them all there. You get Butland, Kelly, Wright, Munn. Is Holgar going to play ahead of any of them? Probably not. When Butland moves on, Kelly's what, 20? How old's Liam Kelly? 26, 27?
Aye.
So he probably, if Butland moves on, let's say for talking sake, Kelly becomes a first choice keeper. I doubt it will. Butland leaves, we'll probably sign someone else. But for talking sake, let's say Kelly's a first choice keeper. He'll be a first choice keeper for best part of 8 years. Which is, when you think about it, he's what? And that'll make Hogarth what, 28, 29. He's never going to be a first choice Rangers goalkeeper. Sorry, that's fact, I think. So don't see why we can't just look to sell these players, get a wee bit of money back rather than continually loaning them out until their contract expires. Because it doesn't help us or
I
it doesn't
think we
help
need
him either.
a second and third choice goalie. and I'd rather they come for the academy than we go and spend money on them. So for Jay Hogarth, if we loan him out till he's 24, 25, at that point, if he's played regular football, we'll make a decision either he's good enough to be challenging for the first team position, or he's good enough to be a second or third goalie, and we keep him for that role. If not, we move him on for something between 500 grand and £1 million. That's exactly what we're doing with Robbie McCrory. Robbie McCrory's been the second choice goalie for the last 2 years. We've not had to spend any money in a second choice goalie coming in because we've had it through the academy. Now we're going to move him on for probably about 700 grand. I think that's the path. I would rather those second and first, third choice spots come for the academy, personally. You only get that with keeping goalkeepers and developing them into their mid-20s. I wouldn't like Hogarth and Mason Munn being second and third choice this season, for example, because of their age. They're 20 and 18. Very, very young for a goalkeeper. So I think you're right. There has to be a balance. You're right. We can't have 16 goalkeepers out on loan. I've listed Hogarth, Buddenhouse, Mason Munn, all very highly thought of. So maybe we do need to, cut our losses on one of them. Maybe you're right, but I think it's sensible to keep a couple at different stages of their career.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but you could have, say, we're all talking, say Butland leaves and Kelly comes first choice, which I don't think will happen. But Kelly's first choice, you've got Wright and you've got Munn, who's highly rated. He's just signed a pretty long term deal at the age of 18, so we must obviously see something in him. Is it Budanakis? Something like that. Let's go with him.
Let's call him Lewis.
Lewis. I didn't know his first name. Lewis works. I say Lewis is what? He's probably like 18, 19 as well. He's been fairly highly rated. I remember there was a Legends game. It was actually Walter Smith and Alan McCoy the managers, and Lewis played. He was he was goalkeeper for like one of the teams in the second half. So they must obviously rate him somehow. I remember going to watching under 18s games, and he was always the keeper, and he was always pretty good. So I can't see Hogarth being ahead of Munn, Wright, or Lewis. So unless we're looking at it, I don't know how long left in his deal. Unless his deal's up next season, and we're just loaning him out because Queen of the South can't afford them, which is possible. I think they're kind of don't have their finances because they just get relegated, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
From Championship, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably not in the best financial area to buy players, but it's kind of a criticism of the whole system. Loaning out, I mean, Chelsea used to do it all the time, loaning out 40 odd players every year. Like, we can't be doing that. I think we need to start selling some of these players that are getting loaned out to clubs like Queen of South, clubs like Dumbarton, that kind of level. I think we could probably look for a buyer more than loaning 30 odd players out every year.
Yeah, you're right. And a part of the academy system is going to be to make money because not every player will make it in the Rangers first team because they can't. But it's just fact of life. But we do need to be getting fees for the players that don't make it, or if not fees, sell-on fees. I mean, I always talk about who was the Northern Irish boy, the midfielder, Charlie, something that
Charlie
moved to
McCann.
Forest Green.
No, I
Charlie
know you're
McCann.
talking about. Was it Charlie McCann?
Was it Charlie McCann?
That rings a bell.
Where basically, so he's your perfect plan B, where like your plan A is players come in and I was Charlie McCann. I've just googled. Players come in and they actually make it into the first team. Plan B is they don't quite make it into the first team, but you move them on at a fee. And
Lewis Mayo, perfect example.
Lewis Mayo as well. And there's a sell-on fee as well. So Charlie McCann, we sold him for about 300 grand. I don't know how much we got for Lewis Mayo, but there's sell-on fees for both of them. If Rangers make Charlie McCann, that's fine. You're not going to sell a player who's no good enough to make it into your first team, you're not going to sell them for 12 million, but getting your money back on what you spent in developing them, and then if he does make it at Forest Green, we get a wee bit of the pie of when they sell them for big money. It's hedging your bets. So that's what we should be doing for the players who we know aren't going to make it. But again, we'll be here until next Wednesday talking about all the things we need to do different with young players in the youth academy, Scott.
We've only half.
Aye. But that will bring us to a close for today, Scott. It's been a pleasure speaking to you for the last couple of days, mate.
Yeah, no, mate, enjoyed it, aye.
And as always, thank you all for listening. Again, Scott's link is in the description, and if you can give us a wee like, subscribe, and most of all, let us know what you think of the talking points in the comments too. So until not even tomorrow, we've got another 2 pods to open this today. The Jamie, Johnny, and Graham got together to discuss the Euros and how the knockout stages are going. That'll be with you around lunchtime, and then myself and Andy will be on the live stream at 8:30 tonight. So, plenty of content coming your way, folks. So until then, take care.